Do you want to tell me a little bit about this one?
Well, this is a tribute to William Orpen, because I'm the biggest collector of Orpen originals. I've got...
Ronnie Wood, the wild guitarist of the Rolling Stones, may have once lived life louder than his amplifiers, but at 78, it's his lifestyle offstage that has fans doing a double take. While most would assume a rock star's golden years mean quiet retirement or fading headlines, Ronnie flips the script. He paints. He raises twin daughters. He lives in a stunning countryside estate. And oh, he's married to a woman 30 years younger who just happens to be a theater producer rubbing shoulders with royalty. The man who once lived on tour buses now divides his time between canvases, children, and carpets worthy of Buckingham Palace. The question now isn't just what songs he's still playing, but what kind of life he's still living. And make no mistake, it's a life full of surprises. In this deep dive, we pull back the curtain on Ronnie Wood's extraordinary world away from the stage, a world filled with art, luxury, love, and a daily routine that's anything but ordinary. Long before Ronnie Wood became a household name with the Rolling Stones, he was already sketching his world, quite literally. His love for art started in childhood, and while music turned him into a global icon, painting never left his side. Now, in his later years, Ronnie isn't just dabbling, he's exhibiting. His artwork has been showcased in galleries from London to New York, with portraits of fellow musicians, abstract color bursts, and vivid expressions of life on the road. Some pieces have sold for thousands of pounds, placing him among the rare group of rock stars who are also recognized fine artists. But painting isn't his only hobby. Ronnie's daily rhythm includes acoustic guitar noodling, long countryside walks, and sometimes even spontaneous jam sessions with friends. Not for the crowd, but for the soul. He also journals, often with artistic doodles in the margins, and keeps an eye on theater and performance art, which leads us to another major influence in his lifestyle, someone who has dramatically reshaped how he spends his days, his wife, Sally Humphreys. But before we get to her, let's take a peek at where all this creativity unfolds. Ronnie's private sanctuary is tucked away from the rock and roll chaos. Ronnie Wood's current address isn't a hotel penthouse or a backstage suite. It's a serene estate in the lush countryside of Surrey, England. Tucked away behind towering hedges and iron gates, this isn't just a house, it's a statement. The sprawling property blends classic British architecture with personal touches that scream both rock legend and retired rebel. Inside, it's a museum of memories, walls lined with Ronnie's own paintings, vintage guitars displayed like sacred relics, and rare stones memorabilia hiding in plain sight. The garden? Immaculately kept, reportedly one of Sally's favorite spots to unwind. There are rumors of additional properties too. Whispers of a getaway home in Ireland, and possible international retreats, although details remain closely guarded. Unlike the chaotic hotel hopping of his touring years, Ronnie now values rootedness. Surrey offers quiet, privacy, and space, the kind of place where creativity flows and family thrives. Friends and guests describe it as warm, elegant, and surprisingly calm. Not at all what one might expect from a man who once partied with Keith Richards until sunrise. But Ronnie's lifestyle now is built on balance, and at the heart of that balance stands the woman who helped redefine what home means to him, Sally Humphreys. She's not just the younger partner of a rock legend. Sally Humphreys is a force of her own. More than 30 years Ronnie Wood's junior, Sally isn't lounging in the shadows of his fame. She's a respected theater producer, the founder of Sea High Productions, and a graduate of Mount View Theater School, with deep roots in drama and live performance. When the two married in 2012, many headlines focused on the age gap. But over the years, Sally has quietly dismantled those narratives, proving she's not a groupie, but a grounding presence, a businesswoman, and a partner in every sense of the word. She's produced stage plays, mingled with royalty at formal events, and stood by Ronnie through 2 separate battles with lung cancer. During his treatment, she was his rock, managing the home, raising their twin daughters, and keeping his spirit lifted with the kind of quiet strength that rarely makes headlines. Friends say Sally brings order to Ronnie's artistic chaos. She runs her company, attends red carpets, and still makes time for dinner at home, even when juggling rehearsals and West End deadlines. If Ronnie's life has taken a creative second act, Sally is the co-director behind the scenes, guiding it all with equal parts elegance and grit. And speaking of second acts, their life took a dramatic turn with the arrival of 2 little girls who changed everything. In 2016, Ronnie Wood became a father again. Not grandfather, but father, to twin girls named Gracie Jane and Alice Rose. He was 69. Most men his age are thinking about retirement plans or golf memberships. Ronnie? He was learning how to change diapers again and singing lullabies instead of rock ballads. The arrival of the twins completely transformed the rhythm of his daily life. Mornings that once started with cigarettes and tour schedules now begin with breakfast duties and school runs. According to those close to the family, Ronnie is an incredibly hands-on dad. Playful, present, and surprisingly patient. He's painted with his daughters, taught them simple chords on his guitar, and even reads bedtime stories with character voices. And Sally? She runs the household with the grace of a stage manager, juggling theater productions, toddler chaos, and celebrity appearances like a pro. The Wood family keeps a relatively low profile when it comes to the girls, but paparazzi have occasionally captured sweet moments. Ronnie pushing a twin stroller through London or holding tiny hands at public events. It's a softer image of a man once known for throwing hotel TVs out the window, and yet it's real. This rock legend has carved out a surprisingly wholesome family life. But behind that new calm lies a battle that shaped his perspective, a health scare that forced him to slow down and reimagine what really matters. Ronnie Wood has lived through more than just musical errors. He's survived battles that many don't walk away from. In 2017, he was diagnosed with lung cancer, a sobering twist in a life once fueled by chain smoking and all-night parties. But perhaps more shocking than the diagnosis was his response: calm, defiant, and utterly focused. He refused chemotherapy so he could keep his hair and energy for his twin daughters, choosing surgery instead. "I've had a fight with cancer, and I've won," he told reporters later. Then, in 2021, another scare came. A small cell cancer found in his lung, a rarer, more aggressive type. Again, Ronnie faced it with what he called his samurai spirit. He credits Sally and the twins for giving him a reason to stay grounded, to stay healthy, and to stay alive. These health scares didn't break him. They recalibrated him. Ronnie no longer sees himself as immortal. He exercises more, watches what he eats, and carves out time to rest between projects. He paints not for fame, but for peace. He plays music not for crowds, but for joy. He speaks about mortality with a clarity that only survivors understand. At 78, Ronnie Wood isn't coasting, he's curating. Each day is purposeful. Each moment with family is sacred. But don't think he's faded into quiet obscurity. The man still makes headlines, especially when he steps out looking every bit the rock star with his signature shades, custom jackets, and arm in arm with Sally at red carpet events. Even at 78, Ronnie Wood walks into a room like he owns the century. The hair is still wild, the jacket's still flashy, and the swagger still unmistakable. Age may have mellowed the man, but the rock star aesthetic, untouched. Whether he's arriving at a Rolling Stones anniversary party or attending a Buckingham Palace gala with Sally on his arm, Ronnie shows up dressed like a headline. Custom tailored blazers, embroidered scarves, vintage boots. He wears his history like armor, and it doesn't stop at fashion. His car collection includes everything from luxury sedans to classic convertibles, with a particular fondness for vintage British models. Inside his Surrey estate, visitors describe rooms filled with curated antiques, original artwork, many of them his own, and music memorabilia worth a small fortune. But Ronnie doesn't just hoard luxury, he lives it. He and Sally are regulars at art exhibitions, theater openings, charity auctions, and high society dinners. She glides through black-tie galas with poise while Ronnie keeps things unpredictable, cracking jokes, stealing attention with a sly grin, or suddenly pulling out a sketch pad mid-event. This mix of refinement and rebellion makes him a favorite among both press and paparazzi. Still, behind every appearance is a calculated balance. He's no longer the man who disappears into hotel bars for 3 days. Now, each outing is selective, carefully spaced between family time, health routines, and creative work. But make no mistake, when Ronnie Wood walks onto a red carpet, he reminds the world that legends don't retire, they evolve in style. Ronnie Wood's lifestyle isn't just a byproduct of fame, it's a carefully sculpted legacy. From chaotic tours to quiet mornings in Surrey, from wild nights with rock legends to bedtime stories with his daughters, Ronnie has shifted gears without ever losing himself. His days now are rich with meaning, painting with purpose, parenting with love, performing with soul. He lives in a home that reflects his journey, shares his life with a woman who both grounds and challenges him, and faces aging not with fear, but with fierce creative clarity. His survival through cancer, his evolution as an artist, and his decision to live life on his own terms proved one thing. Ronnie Wood was never just the other guitarist in the Rolling Stones. He is a man who has rewritten his narrative, not with noise, but with nuance. And maybe that's the most rock and roll thing of all. Because in a world obsessed with drama and decline, Ronnie quietly reminds us that legacy isn't about how loud you live. It's about what you still choose to create, even after the curtain shifts close.